Hey guys, this is Jeff here again. Just another update on the progress of the USS Enterprise 1701A that we're doing. And as you can see here, as far as the saucer goes, I've got the saucer top on. All the lights are working brilliantly. You can see here, even with the main lights in the kitchen on, you can still see how this front spotlight is bathing the front of the saucer in light. And let's see if we can go through and let's turn off that light. And we still have a lot of light coming in. Trying to get as dark as I can up in here. Usually I would do this in the bathroom, but have to pick up and move from where I'm at, and I really am in the midst of working diligently with integrity. I just wanted to go ahead and get this quickie update for you before I continue on with both this and the kit bash model, both of which I'm working on at the same time. But yeah, you have a lot of light on the front of the saucer. There we go. Zoom it back out here for you so we can see it. But it looks really, really good. But also what I'm going back and doing now is just yet another change to the model is on the fronts of the nacelles. I am going back in and adding the forward spotlight that aims towards the back of the saucer back in here. I've taken this nacelle apart and got that light on there. And if I get in close enough, and if it clears up for us here, which hopefully it will, and it's not really too much, but you can see two white blobs right there. There we go. That's a little bit better. But yeah, you can tell there are two white blobs right there versus just the one right there. And I've gone in and made that change, and I've also changed my lights on the inside as well. I took them from 10 millimeter to 5 millimeter because what I had was when I cracked this puppy open to check it, this rear bulb back here went out when I did that. Not exactly sure what it was or anything, but I am gonna say I'm learning my thing with the wire and everything. As you can see here, let me get my lights back on. Get my lights back on. All of my lights back on. And my window back open too, because it's a nice rainy day here in Caddo Valley, Arkansas. Gateway to the Great Lake Resort State Park. And let me see here. Yeah, I'm starting to use the magnet wire, which I have my wires right here. Green for a negative and red for a positive, and solder all those guys in. And like I said, I'm learning my lesson with the wiring, most notably with the lack of me using solder on wires. Sometimes, especially when I get twisted really good, when I was using this heavier, thick, solid core wire, it was working pretty good. But sometimes I could tell, like if I shifted it or moved it a certain way, sometimes it was just a little loose. So, sometimes it kind of aggravates me a little bit. So it's like, you know what, let me just go ahead and start getting better and better with soldering as I'm learning, because I want to use, more lights. The magnet wire definitely does help with that. I've started purchasing light strips in mass amounts. Let me see, here's a set right here that I got off of eBay, and I'm working to try to open. And hold on a second, here we go. Yeah, there we go, right there. That nice stuff right there. And this right here is actually coated, it's waterproof actually. So, when I got that, I really didn't think too much of the difference between the waterproof versus the non-waterproof. But here's the non-waterproof, you can see off up in there. And it's a little bit thinner. And this waterproof, the LEDs are actually closer together. So, and it denotates the soldering spots a little bit better and easier. So, just wanting to change up, starting to use different lighting and more increased lighting. Oh, just unplugged my ship using my leg. Not good. There we go. I like it with the lights on. So, but yeah, just had to go through and make all those changes. Now I'm finna get the outside of this nacelle on, and I've coated it with, let me see, it's right over there. Krylon is a brilliant silver metallic paint I've started using in place of the aluminum foil, because unlike aluminum foil, this will never peel off unless I was to open it up and scrape it off. And see, the foil, even though, yeah, I use it with some CA glue, and plus it's a metal surface, so if there was any chance while I'm putting it together I didn't notice that there was a wire jutting out and it winds up touching with the aluminum foil side of it, it could cause a short. And then you got a light out and you sit up there and wrapped it up and taped it up and got CA glue, which is, it takes a lot to get this stuff apart. So, it helps out too. That's one of the main reasons why I started using it. So, but for right now, this is the update, and I'm going to go ahead and get this nacelle glue back together and get the other one apart and get that other light up in there and change out any LEDs if I need to for the blue. Probably will wind up doing it anyway, just so I know I have the same running from port to starboard. Can't tell very much of a difference on that, but probably just go ahead and change anyway, just to go ahead and have more just go ahead and have fresher, more unused LEDs on the inside of that, because hopefully when I get this puppy together this time, it'll be the last time I'm taking it apart. There isn't any other thing I can think of where I need to stick a bulb at. I know the little blue crystal, I'll drill out the little film that's there, and then there's a part of the DLM package included those little blue crystals that stick on top of both nacelles, and have the impulse crystal I have to stick in there as well, tinted in blue. And did want to touch for a moment on the impulse engines. I know they're blue, but this is the Enterprise A from Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. If you ever watched that movie, I know most people don't like it because people feel the story is kind of drab, and the special effects, of course, were not on par. Even I will admit to that. But it's always been my favorite movie, I guess because it was really the first one that I really attached to and everything as a kid. So it really doesn't bother me when I watch it. I love the movie. It's very funny. The dynamic between Kirk, Spock, and McCoy is there and in full-fledged. And, I just really, really like it. It's different. So I just thought that Paradise City shouldn't have been in the desert, as well as Nimbus 3 could have been, had a few trees here and there. But other than that, great movie. Just need some foliage around there, except for, besides in Yosemite National Park. But yeah, I have those, and I have a couple of corrections to make. The DLM part is just a little shallow, heading downwards, because it is flatter, which is the shape of the impulse engines. But, you have that major gap. And it just, the clarity just went all there. It is. Okay, you have that big gap right there underneath the impulse deck heading into the neck. So got to fill that in. Just stack up some styrene sheets and stick it up underneath there. No biggie. Fill that up real quick, and up underneath there, because the part is so shallow, I cut too deep on the bottom of the saucer half, and I wound up with that gap. So I had to go back in with using styrene. It's real good to have a lot of that stuff on hand, and fix that. I corrected that up underneath there as well. So gonna go ahead, like I said, close up this starboard nacelle, and then go around with mass amounts of putty on the cracks and seams, fill everything in, get everything sanded down, especially around the bridge domes. You can see very, very gappy and everything, but that's because I did raise it up using a styrene sheet that was sanded down, and move the bridge dome forward a little bit. And this DLM part for the BC deck, it's big. It's much taller than the normal piece that's, the normal mold that's there. you have that front detail. Yeah, here it is. You have that front detailing that's in there, and the windows are, you drill them out and they're much smaller the way they need to be. But man, this thing is really big, and it's not flat totally on the top. So, I did sand it, even with my grinding tool on my Dremel, and sanding, and I still just couldn't get it the way it needed to be. So in the end, it's like, you know what, frack it, let me just go ahead and get it on there, and we'll correct everything with putty. That's why this stuff's out there, to correct stuff, and I'm finna use a lot of it. So gonna go ahead and work on this, and also get back on that kit bash kit. I keep changing up so much stuff on there, I don't know what direction it's going right now, but and if you've seen the last video of it, well, I don't know where the last video of it, because I don't know when I'll be posting this one, but if you've been watching up with that one and everything, I've changed the front nose of the saucer and everything and stuff. It's just going along so cool. I'm really liking the difference on it too. It's totally unique. But this one right here is gonna, I want it to look like it jumped out of the screen. So I go forth, and as I always say, those of you out there building models, keep on building. Those of you watching the videos and say, gee, I want to start building a model, go ahead and start. It's always fun. It's really fun. And for me, especially, having been diagnosed with major depression with psychotic features, it keeps me focused, and it's helping me to reform and train my mind. And plus, I'm trying to work at home and skills, because I want to do this for a living. I really do. Because sometimes finding jobs, what I have, is a little bit difficult, as it's proving right now. So I plan on turning this to a living sometime or the other eventually. Get good enough at it, and I will continue to go forth. And again, this is Jeff, because you're watching the Jeff Gaskin channel, saying see you later. Oh, and the music you hear in the background is Spock's Arrival to the Enterprise, the early version, before Bob Wise had Jerry Goldsmith go back and change it all. It's out there online. Just go seek it out. Very cool. See you later, guys.